Alright guys, today we're going to talk about pickup. I thought about it for a moment and I decided to share with you all the information that I have about pickup. This information has benefited me big time. It has transformed me and changed me as a man, okay? And it will also help you become a better person. Now, in pickup, when people hear the word pickup, right, many people assume some people are negative and they always play the victim card instead they just assume like, oh, it's getting in everyone's pants. No, it's not. Pickup is just the art of approaching strangers. Pickup is the art of being yourself so that when you see the one, you are ready. So that's why the first thing I tell people, just like anybody, any pickup artist does, is define your who. Who is the type of person you want to live with? Who is the type of person you want to attract? You have to do this job. You have to do this work. If you are not clear on the person you want to attract, or on the person you want to meet, or on the type of person you want to live with, it is going to be chaos and chaotic in your life, right? You may like a lot of people, but certain types have to be a priority, right? I took so much numbers, but because I knew they were not aligned with me, they were not the type of people that I liked, I never continued. But you can do that when you have enough experience, right? So the first thing I want to tell you is the first exercise is for you to define your type. You can even just type, you can get a diary and write on a piece of paper the characteristics. I'm sure you have an idea of the type of person you want to attract, right? Just list it. She looks like Emma Watson, blah, blah, blah. She must be this, she must be that. All of these things. And say no to anything that doesn't match with that description. It's very easy. Let me elaborate. So, that works on Hinge. She says, scientifically, it's enough for you to go on 37 dates to choose or pick the one with your values, like all of your, most of the things that you're looking for, values. Many people end up going to 100 dates, thousands of dates, and still never finding the one, right? And maybe it's not supposed to be the one, but at least sifting through 37 people, you will be able to understand who is who. This person is really good, let's see how it goes, right? For example. And so it all starts with openers. So the first thing, guys, I know there is an inner game. This is also what I teach mainly in my channel, the inner game, right? The main character mindset, where you basically meditate, you work on yourself, you change your perception, a lot of mental tricks, a lot of healing, a lot of shadow work, alter ego. Alter ego is a powerful stuff, guys. If you suffer from inferiority complex, if you have some inner problems that let's hope it's not just an excuse that your brain gives you not to pursue or get out there and just approach people. So the first thing, it starts with openers. As a matter of fact, guys, I want to make it clear. You have to memorize openers so that when the moment comes, you're ready. My phone is full of, I don't know if you could see it, my lock screen is full of these symbols. And those symbols, every symbol means something. I memorized a lot of lines and it goes deeper than just openers. I will explain. So you memorize more than one line. Those that are good to your personality, those that fit your personality. So you don't feel like you are trying to regurgitate or trying to fake yourself or with those cheesy pickup lines, like trying to sound smart. No, you know yourself better. You know what works for you. Maybe a cocky style works. Maybe enthusiastic. Maybe your style varies. What I'm about to share with you is what fits me. I went through a lot of openers and sifted through tons, maybe hundreds of openers to pick up the best openers that would work for me, mostly in 80% of the situation. Some of the openers are, I'm having a great day. You're just having fun, right? You're having fun, you walk on the beach somewhere, you say, I'm having a great day. And you just say something. Or number two, can I? If they are in a library, they read a book, can I take us, like, can I see what book you read? Or can I, like, out of curiosity, right, if there's anything that interests you. I like your vibe, or I love your style. This is universal, and it's not bad. Instead of saying, you're beautiful, you're pretty, right? Say, I like your vibe, I love your style. Photo, self-explanatory. You ask them for a picture. So for example, you come up to people, right, and you say, guys, who among you takes the best shots? They would say me or me, right? And then maybe you have an older version of a phone, they have the newest version or whatever. So they compete. Mostly this works with like two sets, group of people. And then when they take a photo of you, or like you say, can you please take a picture? Or who takes better photos? You can ask them to, you can ask both of them to take pictures of you to see who does better. You have to make it interesting. It's not just like, guys, can you take a photo and then what? No, you have to come up with a script. Like, who does, guys, can I ask you who takes better picture? Okay, who has the latest phone or whatever? They will tell you this. Okay, beautiful. I need a photo or two photos here and whatever. So just ask a stranger for a favor, like, can you please take a photo? Okay, the next part, you're giving off incredible energy. You're complimenting people on their energy. You're giving them positive dopamine. Number two, glasses. If you have anything that you wear, any accessory that you wear, you can come up with any question. For example, do these glasses make me look queer? Do these glasses make me look gay? Or then they would say maybe no, or maybe yes, and then you can say, you know what, my friend refused to go out with me. He said it would make him look stupid. And so then you continue. Gift. I'm looking for a gift for a woman your age. You're in the mall and you just ask a stranger, I'm trying to buy a gift for a woman your age. What do you think you would like to receive on a birthday? This is not putting her on a pedestal. Make sure you sound like you genuinely just need advice. You're not just trying to hint that you would buy her whatever. The next thing is, oh my god, my wife would love these shoes, these bags. And then in a funny way you can open up a camera and then basically as you speak you say, do you want to see my wife? And then you open up a camera and you show them a selfie to basically see themselves. And then you show them a reflection of their face. You are not from here, are you? Or you are not from the city. No matter what your city is, you go to Miami, in your own city, you are not from X, are you? And then you say, oh, you stand out so much, or you have this cowboy style or Texas style. What brings you to this aisle, for example? You have to be genuinely interested, guys. This is just for you to get you started. But ultimately, you have to be able to come up with your own language, with your own situational phrases, right? With your situational openers. So what brings you to this aisle, for example? You're genuinely interested. You are in this aisle, nobody's here. What she's doing here, right? What brings you here? Remember, you are just speaking to a random person. Take it easy. You are not trying to get anything. You're just speaking to a stranger. You are curious. Red flag questions, right? For example, is that a red flag if a guy texts his ex? I used it once. Yes. So this one is good, right? Especially in 2 or 3 sets while you're waiting for someone or as you're waiting for someone. So guys, is it a red flag if a guy texts his ex? They would love to tell you their opinions, and then you just start talking. And you can actually also remember a situation from your past or your own life. Agree or disagree, women are, you can say whatever you want. Something controversial, biggest liars, gossip a lot, or gossip more than men. Something controversial, not stupid, right? Do you agree women are beautiful? Don't be stupid, like don't look silly. I know this is random, but I saw you and you're absolutely adorable, depending on the situation. Or my dad told me to approach the most beautiful woman I see today, or the most beautiful girl I see today, or the most stunning, the most stunning girl I see today. Or the classic, basic classic, if you just, don't have time to memorize anything, you can go by, you look like a ninja. And then explain why. Has anyone stopped you today because they thought you were gorgeous? Do you speak English? This was my favorite classic in the past. Do you speak English? Are you Italian? If they say no, you can say, how sad. I was really looking forward to meet and whatever. Do not give away green flags after green flags. We will get to it, but too many, imagine if you guys are just smooth, you're just giving green flags after a green flag, asking for the name, offering for drinks, trying to just buy her with all of these compliments and give away stuff. You automatically put her above you, as if she is something that has to be attained, right? And so you for example, do you speak? For example, are you Italian? She would say no. You will be like, oh, no problem, ha ha ha. No. Be rational. Like I said, tailor this to your personality, but be yourself. You have to be yourself. I don't teach you to be smarmy. This is not good. Be yourself, and just like talk to her like a regular human being. It will take practice, but try to do it. Or don't try, just do it. Okay, the next thing we have is witty retorts, flirting, being playful. You have to memorize these things, guys. This is prelude. This is before I'm even going to explain to you the rules of the game, how to, have fun, how to do it. You have to memorize it. Because if not, if you can be yourself and if you can be talkative, fun. But if you have these things memorized as an arsenal, it sounds geeky, it sounds nerdy, but it boosts your social confidence. It boosts your interaction skills. This is not just for women. With anybody. Guys will like you. You know what to say. You're being playful, right? So number one, wow, they really did give brain cells this morning, right? It's like teasing. When, they say something smart, you say, they really did give brain cells this morning, right? I see the guessing game is strong today. When they try to guess your age or define you, confine you, right? So you can say, I see the guessing game is strong today. If you, let's say, don't want to give away everything fast, you can say this. I didn't know we were in a rom-com, romantic comedy, right? When say, for example, she reacts in a weird way, she gives you some shit test. Oh guys, shit test is another, okay. So I didn't know we were in a rom-com. So romantic comedy. If she reacts in a very interesting way, in a very weird way, or very, regardless, like agitated, weird way, disappointed, you can say, I didn't know we were in a rom-com, right? So, for example, in any moment, it flips the frame, guys. It's so powerful. I didn't know we were in a rom-com, and then the person will be like, we are. Let's not put the cart before the horse. This is if, say, they escalate the situation. For example, she's putting her hands on you, or she's trying to move things forward, or even playfully, for example, if she's trying to order pizza, or whatever. Like, if people just do things right away very fast, and you, let's say, want to take your time, depending on the situation, you can just say, let's not put the cart before the horse. You maybe, let's say, start a business. People say, yes, you are a business. You say, wait, don't celebrate. Let's not put the cart before the horse. And these guys should be used in everyday life, not just with women, with your friends, in your circle. Like, implement this in your daily life. I would agree with you, but then we would both be wrong. This is when you want to disagree in a playful way. Instead of saying, you're wrong, no. You could say, I would agree with you, but then we would both be wrong. right? No matter what the assumption is. For example, let's say someone says, for example, whatever, like you are mistaken. You say, I would agree with you, but then we would both be wrong. Or you have no life. I would agree with you, but then we would both be wrong. It's a beautiful answer. You say it like it's a flex. It's not. When people try to sound smart, when people try to put you down in your place, you never know. Look, whenever you approach a stranger, and they may be alone, they may not be alone, you have to be able to deal with both. Now, I'm an English teacher, right? I'm used to dealing with different people. I can, read the room, behave like an MCE, like control the situation, control the room. And this is very helpful, even to me. So when someone is trying to sound smart, let's say you made a mistake, or you just went to approaching one person and their friend is trying to block you, or they say cock block you. So, and they say something mean or nasty, you can say, you say it like it's a flex. It's not. Next, I would love to stay and chat, but I left something boiling. And you may leave, right, if you don't like the company, for example. But if they ask you, what happened? Or what did you leave boiling? You can say, my standards, for example. Very solid answer, right? Instead of just leaving or making it awkward. I would love to stay and chat, but I left something boiling. What? Even jokingly, it doesn't have to be anything problematic. You can just say, what? My standards. That's it. Doesn't have to be anything special. No, but it's the one that got you talking. This is just to memorize. You never know when you need it, right? No, but it's the one that got you talking. Like if you try to joke and let's say someone says something, for example, negative or ha ha ha, is it funny? You can say no, but it's the one that got you talking. So you always stay on the, on the upper, you always have the upper arm. It's not available in your subscription tier. When people ask you for a favor, or when they ask you for something much more than what you may allow in the first place, you can say, it's not available in your subscription tier. Just like subscriptions, right? You can have a basic subscription, standard subscription, and premium subscription. Let's say, if you're just an acquaintance, it's a standard starter package. It's not a premium package, right? They're not so close to you. So, because too many Sims out there, and this is not me trying to sound smart, we really have an epidemic of Sims, guys, but I mean, in my opinion, the right people are going to find this video and just, learn. But anyways, so when people ask you for, let's say, for example, you just met someone and they say, hey man, can I grab your car? I need to go somewhere. You can say, it's not available in your subscription tier. Just an example, guys, for you to understand, okay? Next, no, I'm not the whole raffle. No, I'm the whole raffle. So for example, when people, guys, I'm not preparing you or saying that the situation is always negative. You may also use it in a positive situation, in a fun way. You never know. So just memorize it, and believe me, guys, those witty retorts are basically me working on myself and sifting through a lot of interesting, comebacks, witty retorts, and those that stuck with me, and I think they're universal. Beautiful, right? No, I'm the whole raffle. So for example, you think you're hot? No, I'm the whole raffle. For example, gotta make sure you don't get bored, right? If you're being yourself and this somehow annoys someone, or people overreact, whatever. So you can say, gotta make sure you don't get bored, right? So you smooth, depends on the situation, guys, but like, gotta make sure you don't get bored. So for example, if you show too much interest, if you show too much interest, the person might say, or the girl might say, are you always like that? Oh my god, like you are so, like whatever, you're too much or whatever. So you can say, gotta make sure you don't get bored, right? If you're too much for some people, of course, maybe they're not the right fit for you, but just saying. I mean, if you're already asking, I probably am. So people ask you, do you think you're hot? You say, I mean, if you're already asking, I probably am. Do you think you're smart? I mean, if you're asking, then I probably am, right? So you're gonna have to memorize it, guys. So it comes quickly to your mind, comes quickly to your brain. Careful, if you keep that up, I might have to ask for your autograph. No, sometimes, like if you, let's say, meet someone dominant who's trying to dominate you or do silly things that you don't like, you say, "Whoa! I mean, if you keep that up, I might have to ask for your autograph, Your Majesty." You know, like if they're putting them, if they assert dominance, and that's not your favorite dynamic, then you just might either tell them that this is not working for you, right? Careful, if you keep that up, I might have to ask for your autograph. In a funny, like it's like a nag, but it's also a very smart and witty way to make them know that they are putting themselves up there or doing stuff that annoy you, right? You don't like. Careful, if you keep that up, I might have to ask for your autograph. Works in different situations, many situations, guys. You are smart. I'm sure I'm sure you're smart. So just memorize this. You can also, guys, work with ChatGPT. It's not news anymore, but you can tell it to give you negative comments, or just tell ChatGPT, I want to practice witty retorts. Throw anything at me. And as you memorize all these witty retorts and comebacks that I give you guys, you will be able to deflect 95% of all witty. This is basically, guys, shit tests. And I'm teaching you to navigate through shit tests to stay above and look cool. Another way, guys, if you don't memorize it, of course, you can just ignore it or react weirdly, like react in a different way. But it's better to be armed with witty retorts and be funny, you know. They say, lead the room. Okay, guys, next. Next we have nags. You also have to memorize nags. Nags are a vital and a very important part of your interactions. When you show interest, you also have to balance it with disinterest, right? So it's a fun way, guys, nothing serious. So you can say, out there a hard-working tree produces oxygen, so you can breathe. This is also in a flirtatious way, right? For example, she's giving you too much headache, you could say, listen, out there is a hard-working tree, go get some oxygen. Apologizing might be a good idea. Is she always like that? For example, right? Okay, next part. Can you recall when I ask for your opinion? Neither can I. This is a little bit confrontational, guys, but I thought to include it. Anyways, next. Those who tolerate you daily are the unsung heroes, or unseen heroes, or real heroes. It's a fun, flirtatious way, but it's also a neg, right? Those who tolerate you daily, like, right, you can. This is why I tell you to memorize it. When you memorize it, it comes naturally. It's like a sales call, right? You memorize the script and read it 100 times, and when you say it, it sounds natural. It doesn't sound scripted. It doesn't sound weird. It sounds just part of your normal conversation. Those who tolerate you daily are the unsung heroes. You know, if she's giving you a hard time, or especially shit tests, we'll get to it. Those ones are a little heavy. No, the last one is heavy, but this one is funny. You're the human equivalent to period cramps. This one is a little bit heavy, but don't be embarrassed about who you are. Leave that to your parents. You have to be armed. You have to be armed with a spectrum of nags to use, let's say, from light ones to medium ones to harsh ones. Okay, guys, and this is from Mystery. Hands off the merchandise. She's putting her hands on you. Hands off the merchandise, right? Or hands off the merchandise. You and I would never get along. We're too similar. You don't have a chance. That was weird. You have to memorize it, guys. I can't emphasize this enough. Memorize it like a geek, like a nerd. Yes. Let me show you. So this is science, guys. If you see this, look, this is science. You have to study it, guys. If you don't, no one is born. Next. Hey, knucklehead. Wait your turn. You talk a lot. Did you just roll your eyes at me? You need to wash that dress already. Something natural, right? There is beauty in imperfection. What flaws do you have? Or, I forgot the line, but just be natural, sarcastic, right? Be funny, sarcastic, use satire, humor, sarcastic, just be playful, but not overly attraction switches. Pre-selection, that you are already pre-selected. Leader of men, that you are a leader or have leadership qualities, right? Protector of loved ones, you're always there for the loved ones, you're taking care of them, protecting them. Willingness to emote, being enthusiastic, expressive, having this willingness to emote, not just be a dull, boring guy. And number 5, risk taker, bold, challenge. Those are the attraction switches. And those are the same things you need to portray if you are in dating apps, which of course is not very encouraged by pickup community, but you can of course be everywhere. Dating apps, online, offline, you name it. Okay, A1 consists of 5 steps. Number 1, peacocking. When you are dressing, guys, you have to always be dressing nice. Something has to stand out, right? Be always bright. Be always special. Don't wear like a gray rat. Don't wear anything boring. This is not just for pickup. This is also coming from the book that's called 48 Laws of Power. I think you know this book by Robert Greene. Stand out. You have to stand out. Peacocking. Number 3, 3-second rule. The moment you spot or the moment you like someone, you just do it. 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Approach. If you wait too long, she will, think of you as a creep, stalker, and you also might talk yourself out of doing that. Believe me, guys, I tell you from experience. Next, I like to be sarcastic generally, right? I like to be snarky sometimes, sarcastic. I use satire, humor, and so you can use negs. So you can replace negs with that, right? So, for example, if you see a person, you open up, you have your opener, you memorized it, you begin the conversation, and then you see something funny, something interesting. Are you from Uganda? Right? Are you from Ukraine? Anyways, basically, yeah, you do some negs. 3-second rule, negs, false time constraint. When you approach people always ask 3 questions. Who are you? What do you want? How long will it take? Right? Who are you? What do you want? How long? And so you do false time constraint is that you are not there to stay because that's too much. Like you just pop up and stay there. No matter who you are, even if you are a guy, you will be like, is this gonna end soon? You ask yourself this question. You meet a person, you look at your watch, you genuinely need to go. So you imply that you are in a hurry. You're not there to stay for long. False time constraint. Looking at a watch, or maybe saying that a friend is going to arrive, what is the best place to go, or whatever. Body rocking, non-neediness. So your body should implicate that you are about to leave, or you're not just invested and leaning in all the way, right? You're almost, you're almost leaving, but not yet leaving, but not needy, not like you don't pressure the person with complete physical presence. Next, DHV stories, demonstration of high value. Now, assuming that you trained well, you opened up, you had the false time constraint, you began talking, so you completed A1 successfully. Now, A2 is going to be female to male interest. What it means is that you have to prepare and make a map. Like I showed you before, I have a little map, a little bit like below. So the first thing is an opener, second thing is routines, and the last one is DHV. DHV is DHV, guys, is a story that you tell people about yourself, right? Everyone has a story, right? You go to your friend, they always tell you how bad it was before, or like how good life was before COVID, or whatever. So anyone, and regardless of pickup guys, anyone has a story, right? And so you choose and pick your story that taps into all of the attraction switches, right? Pre-selection, leader of men, willingness to emote, storyteller, like enthusiastic. So DHV stories should be, pre-selection, protector of loved ones, leader of men, willingness to emote, and risk taker, like a real man, right? And so those stories are real parts of your life. So some of the stories that I use, for example, is I speak more than one language. I speak 3 languages, right? And so I recall a moment when someone needed my help and I translate it. And automatically it tells them that I speak 3 languages without me saying, did you know I speak 3 languages? You should be astonished and clap for me. So you just weave it into a story, into the conversation, right? So that they don't think that you are bragging. If they think that you are bragging, your value goes down. Next, protector of loved ones. When I was in a relationship, I installed a GPS tracker in her phone so I could know where she is. This is a beautiful story, right? And so you can ask them, do you guys think it's protective? Do you guys think it's being controlling when you, or whatever, right? Like you think to yourself, you come up with creative ways to incorporate that into the story. Next, for example, I impressed a ballerina one day. I'm very flexible, for example, and so she was very impressed by my flexibility. Another thing you could say is, let me take a look. Some of the things, for example, a model coming from another state to help me. Pre-selection. Animals. I feed squirrels, birds. I have this friendly habitat for them. They love that, right? Listening to books, self-development, using Notion, meditation, friends visiting me from other states. I know how to make really good coffee. So you have to think about them, guys. Like I said, you have to get a piece of paper and think about all the beautiful stuff that you can do that you may think would impress people, and add to this list. Add to it. Also, not only just speaking and being smart by talking, you can also have social media, right? Social media demonstrates who you are, what you are, and you are encouraged to become truly a high-value guy or girl. You really have to be a high-value person. And so, weaving these stories, like knowing these DHVs, this is why I have them on my phone in case I forget, or in case, just a little reminder for myself that I'm in a conversation. Oops, I could weave. Like if you run out of things to say, you can take a look at your phone and remember the story. Another thing is to smile. Smile. A lot of guys don't smile, and everyone is guilty of that, right? But try to smile. Memorize these DHV. DHV stories are very important. It's just part of the conversation. You don't have to say it all, but as you talk, you could weave something into that. And that, my friends, is the next stage. Okay, next part is A2. Now you have successfully opened up, you look bright, you gave them the false time constraint, you have high energy, you're smiling. Remember guys, what matters is your energy. Because sometimes when you are energetically dead, it just doesn't work. So pay attention to that, right? Energy. You have to master. So one of the things that Jordan Belfort, he's into sales, right? But sales is also impression. This is also part of sales. You are advertising yourself, right? So he uses anchors. You can anchor yourself when you are at a high peak state. And this is the last resort power that you can use when you see a woman of quality, a beautiful woman. Guys, even though I grew up in a Muslim family, if I see a Muslim girl with her dad, I will approach them. Why not? A Christian girl with her family. Why not? right? So you can do it. Anybody. I mean, regardless of their faith, of their religion, if you genuinely like them, but you feel so low, you're energetically feeling down, you can use the anchor. Basically, anchor is just like, any music that you listen takes you back to the good old days. And you just remember how life was, you remember the sensations, the emotions, right? The nostalgia. Exactly the same thing is like anchor is exactly the same thing. Like Jordan Belfort, and I also have decided to just squeeze my arms when I'm at my peak emotion, and don't use it all the time. You dilute it. So you have to, like, at the moment of peak emotion, let's say you got her number, you did something great, you feel so enthusiastic, clasp your fists and just, feel the peak of this emotion. Do it 3 times and your body will remember. When you see a high value woman, you will just call upon this power and you will witness for yourself how your body floods with energy. You are just feeling so great. It feels like magic. And you just go and approach them. This is the last resort power that I understood would work. Because sometimes I'd be asking myself, like, okay, she's very beautiful, but I'm low on energy. Maybe I didn't sleep well. Maybe my emotions got over me. Maybe I didn't, whatever. Maybe I'm stressed these days. So you call upon your anchor and you do it. 882, female to male interest. DHV stories. You have to know your stories. Remember them. It's better if you memorize all of the things that I gave you guys so that you become A+ student. So that you guys really get quality women with you. So that you don't end up settling for less. So that you don't end up getting a woman that is just there. So you don't get the first available, so guys, listen, it's very important not to get attached to anyone that is just available or anyone that you could get, right? You have to be able to choose the person of your dreams, right? And so this takes me to routines. Routines is between the openers and DHVs. Let me show you. So routines is this. You see? This is routines. So for example, she's wearing a ring. You can say, oh, did you know, for example, those who wear a ring in this finger means they are that. Those who wear a ring on small finger means they are this. Question game, for example, I will ask you 5 simple questions and I bet you will get the 5th wrong. You ask her 4 questions, generic questions, and the 5th one you can say, what cows drink? She will say milk. You say, gotcha, right? Or you can say, I will tell you 5 lies. Or for example, lie to me 5 times. And the last question would be, how many questions did I ask you? She would say 4. Say, gotcha, right? So you can be playful. There are many things, like 2-friend test. You see 2 friends, you tell them, are you guys best friends? Yes. Okay, let's find that out. Do you guys use the same shampoo? They look at each other, and so to stop them from reacting negatively, you say, stop. The answer is not important. The fact that you looked at each other means that you communicate telepathically, right? You are a mini gang. Next, and as you do these things, you look for IOIs, indicators of interest. When she asks you for your name, when she asks you questions about you, she tries to get to know you, right? Touches you, whatever. She is, and you ask yourself, is that an IOI or IOD? IOD is an indicator of disinterest. This is when she uses negs. If she negs you, oh, I don't care. She dismisses you. She gives you any negative compliment, like negative stuff. For example, you say, oh, my friends came over from Miami and we had a blast in the city, right? And so she would say, yeah, and I have friends from China and we ate some Chinese. Like, she's making fun of you. This is also considered an indicator of disinterest. So what you do then is we go back to the witty retorts. Remember I told you to memorize the witty retorts. She says, for example, oh yeah, I also have friends from China that come to the city and we eat some Chinese crap. Depending on how she says it, right? If she says it in a condescending way, oh yeah, I also have some rats that visit me at home, for example. You can make fun of that. You can say, so you are a rat woman. You can make fun of that, right? Or you could say, for example, you say it like it's a flex. It's not, right? Witty retorts. If you memorize them, you will be good to go. Okay, prop lock. Prop lock is basically Mr. used to do what after he does all that, he would basically take off his hat and give it to the target. Take, for example, his scarf, ask her to hold a cup. And they say in psychology, if you ask someone to do you a favor, they will psychologically or subconsciously like you, right? And so this is A2, female to male interest. You tick all the attraction switches. You are a leader of men, pre-selected. You have women in your life. You are risk taker, a challenger, a leader. All of those good qualities, because they don't know you, right? You can show them your social media if you have one, and I strongly encourage you to take pictures. You can also weave that into your conversation. Look for indicators of interest, disinterest, negs, and prop lock. It's very important, guys, that you look for negs. So one of my students is reading the second book for Mystery. A very important lesson that Mystery emphasizes is to use interest with disinterest, right? So you show interest, but then you dismissively show disinterest. Show interest, disinterest. Day, night, right? Hot, cold. Some people are very malevolent and they just stop speaking to the target for a day or two or three. Starve them and then come back. I'm not telling you to do that. I would never tell you to do that. In fact, if you are very malevolent so that you want to trick people and psychologically torture them, don't practice pickup, please. So basically, interest and disinterest have to be balanced. Because if you're just interested, you're putting her on pedestal. You're saying, what's your name? You're beautiful. Should I buy you some coffee? Do you have a boyfriend? Let me give you some roses. Let me do you this. You're just giving. You're giving and giving and giving and giving. And that is not natural. Unless she is a real princess and you are just trying to save your life. but otherwise, why would you do that, right? So you have to understand that she's just a human. And so you have to balance interest with disinterest. Interest with disinterest. In any way you can. You give her a compliment, a little neg. You give her a neg, a little compliment. So you have to be balanced. Just like you sleep and wake up. Eat and starve. Fast maybe. This is the last stage in A1. Okay, A3, male to female interest. Qualifications. So, you ask her about her interests and values and skills. You, for example, have some values. You should have, right? As a man, you have some standards and values. And you ask her to qualify if she fits your standards and values. If you guys fit, right? Let's say you are a red pillar, she is a blue pillar. Or maybe you are a blue pillar, she is a red. Doesn't matter. What are your values? And you ask her about her interests and values. You screen her. You qualify her. It's self-explanatory. Indirect questions. You can ask direct questions, but also indirect to understand the theme of her mind. Like, what is your favorite movie actor? Or why do you like that hero? What is your favorite movie narrative? Why do you like that movie? What is your biggest goal right now? If, let's say, you had to save your burning house, what would you save? If they tell you about their, different. So this is these indirect questions I got from the book that says how to read people. So indirect questions give you real answers to many questions. Like, you really understand what's in the back of their head. Are they always a victim? Are they complaining? Are they dissing everyone? Are they projecting their negativity on people? Or are they grateful? For example, right? So SOI, guys, is an expression of interest. Rewarding behavior. If she's interested in you, and if she has IOIs, right? She's asking questions about you. She holds your hand. She's vibing with you. So it's a good rewarding behavior. So you should reward that behavior with a compliment, acknowledgement, appreciation, kino, as you escalate with kino. And so reward good behavior and ignore bad behavior. It's better not to feed negative energy or bad behavior. She did something nasty or something bad, you can choose to get back to the witty retorts that I said. Are you always like that? There is a tree, or apologizing might be wise, right? Or apologizing might be a good idea. Or you can just ignore it completely so that there is no reaction or energy, and thus you just reward good behavior. Still in A3, you maintain the frame. Remember, your frame should be, I am the main character, this is my movie, I am the prize. Well, I am the prize is basically Mystery's advice. My advice is to go by main character mindset, like I'm the main character. Right? She's part of my life. Healthy dynamics are when a man is leading, right? Man is leading, woman is following. Of course, there are exceptions. You have to remember, in business and in life, we have 80-20 rule, right? 80% to 20%. There will always be 20% that are out of the norm, right? So 80% norm, and there will be always 20% that is different to the norm. So maybe you will find a masculine woman who's looking for a soft man. That could also work, but I'm speaking of 80% generally, right? You maintain the frame. I am the prize, I am the main character. Next. Remember that, guys, many people fall off. Many people start off well, but then they get loose, you know, and then they basically let her dominate them. And then she loses interest. And they ask, why? Bait, hook, reel, release. No matter what you do, bait, hook, reel, release. For example, encourage her to talk. You know, you ask a question, hook. She talks about it. You know, she responds to your bait. Reel. You add to it. Release. Change the topic or move to another. Change the topic. Bait. You ask a question. Encourage her to talk. Hook. She's hooked. She's talking to you, responding to a question. Reel. You respond positively. Reward good behavior. Release. You tease her slightly or change the topic. But remember, bait, hook, reel, release. Question, answer, reward. For example, bait, right? You put your hands like that. Hook, she puts her hand on you. Reel, you play or do whatever, and then release. You just, let them go. Release. Bait, hook, reel, release. Bait, hook, reel, release. You always have to remember that. Bait, hook, reel, release. This is how it should be, guys. Release could also be implied as negative. So positive, negative. Even if she complied, and even if you rewarded her, you also have to end and release it in a neutral way or a dismissive way. Either way. This will help you repeat the process. Because if you don't release, you will be similar to a guy who's just trying to give her green lights. For example, you ask her a question, she answers, then you say, "Oh right, yes, of course, that's wonderful. I mean, you're so smart, right? You gave her a compliment. You are so smart. And you know what? You're not just smart. And by the way, yes, and you have to release, change the topic, or maybe tease her. You like to be complimented, huh? Knucklehead." In a teasing way, just say stuff, and again, bait, hook, reel, release. Bait, hook, reel, release. It's very important, guys. And so at this stage, guys, you are testing for compliance. You test to see how compliant is she to you. So for example, as you are walking, you can test many things. For example, let's say there's a pavement. You take her hand, you try to make her go on the pavement, or you say, "Let's climb over here, let's do stuff, So you are leading her, right? As you're walking through the park, you are seeing how compliant she is, right? Following your lead or no? Is she invested in you? Does she like you a lot or no? Next, you do lock-in prop. You might as well, as you walk in the park, give her your hat or your cup of coffee for some time, not to say forever. And then after this, you successfully go to comfort building stage. Comfort building is the second. So we have A, 1, 2, 3. Then we have C, 1, 2, 3. So now you are transitioning successfully to C. By the way, guys, before I forget, so as let's say, at the end of this stage, you can also try and kiss them, right? As you walk, she's compliant. You try to kiss one time, rejected, second time, third time, maybe fourth time you go. You do it, right? So you go for it. You try it. There's. Okay, here goes this beautiful map. Okay, so we have talked about A1. Okay, so A1, open, attract, qualify. You understand what it means. Next, you isolate. For how would you get to know her better if she's always in a group? If she's always, unless she's in the park by herself, you can of course, like, you are together, you can talk to her. But if she's in a group, go take some drinks, sit on a table, right? Just to get to know each other. Next, we go to C, comfort building. So this is a big thing here. So basically, C is building comfort. B means time bridge. You can basically exchange numbers and decide to meet later. Time bridge, bye-bye. Or E, extraction, change venues. You go from one location to another. So C, building comfort, consists of 3 parts. C1, rapport, building rapport in location 1. C1, rapport, you build comfort. This is the time to tell some stories about your childhood. This is the time to ask her for her stories. This is the time to demonstrate what area of expertise are you in, right? So basically, you are sharp as a tack, you are very smart, you are very interesting, you are a high value man, right? You're building rapport. Location 1. C2, friendship. Location 2, 3, 4. You go to a pizza shop, then maybe you go to a bookstore, then you go to the park. For example, you go to different locations, friendship, what should it be? I'm a geek, right? I have to know everything. Here, you could just have fun. Just be yourself, be yourself and enjoy the moment. Be yourself and but remember the frame. You are the main character. If you forget that you are the main character, if you forget that you are the prize, you are done with. And number 3, he says intimacy, location 5. But basically he says to build a relationship, you need from 4 hours to 10 hours of consistent interaction. So this whole thing should be approximately from 4 to 10 hours. 4 to 10 hours. What mystery teaches is how to find a relationship, right? How to find a person, how to find the love of your life, how to build relationships naturally. Some pickup artists teach you to close a target in 30 minutes. This is a rookie mistake. The worst thing that could happen is you wake up the next morning and never hear from them, right? Because you were not genuinely there for them, right? You were just there because you were thirsty. So mystery doesn't believe in that. What I also teach you guys, I'm teaching you to get better in building a relationship, finding a spouse, finding the love of your life, going to 37 dates, maybe 100, but genuinely finding your person. Many people can go and be stuck in this loop of dating until they die. I honestly would advise for you to just find the love of your life, maybe 2 loves, 3 loves, who cares, and just, be happy with it. But you should know the dynamic, the interaction. And mystery says, any relationship that has ever happened went naturally through all these phases without you guys thinking. So this is just an uncovering behind the veil, behind the scenes. This is nothing new. This is just reverse engineering. What have happened, what could happen. A2, attraction and gambits. This is, guys, after you memorize the openers, the way towards the next. Now we come back to attraction and gambits. So, if you could see here, this is the second line of my screenshot here. So it's a lot of interesting games. Are you guys best friends? Yes, we are. Okay, let's figure it out. Do you guys use the same shampoo? They look at each other, and to stop embarrassing them, you could say, stop. You guys passed the test. You communicate telepathically. You looked at each other before answering. If you answered without looking to each other, that would indicate you're not best friends. The ring routine. If she's wearing a ring, then you basically say, did you know that every finger had its own mystic meaning in the past, or it had its own spiritual guide, whatever. And then you say, did you know what's the meaning of the index ring? Did you know what it meant in the past when people used to wear a ring in that area, for example? Thumb, independent, right? Index, dominant, bossy. Pinky, warhead, protector of loved ones, etc. So you could Google that, of course. But that would be interesting for them to hear and understand. Fun personality test, right? You could say, imagine you are in a desert and you see a cube. And you ask her to describe. Can you describe a cube, a ladder, flower, horse, and a storm? You will ask me, do I have to memorize these questions? Yes. You can construct a beautiful mental image, like I showed you earlier. So she describes all of that, and then you basically say, did you know what is the meaning of the cube? It's you. If she said it's big or small, whatever. Ladder, where did she see it? Did you see it on the cube, beside the cube? Can she describe it? It resembles her friends. Flowers, kids and family. Horse, her ideal lover, for example. Storm, challenges. And so you give her this, and by the way guys, I mean as an English teacher, a lover of psychology, I've always studied MBTI. And so I can go beyond these gambits, and I can basically look at their eye, look at their tattoos, look at how they talk, and I can instantly tell what their personality, if they have OCD, if they are so petty, if they are neat, if they are creative type, ADHD, whatever you call it, neurodivergent. I could tell, and I can basically weave that into my conversation. Did you know, by the way, that, I mean, of course, you don't try to sound like, if you tell people you can read them and understand their type and understand who they are, right from the get-go, not impressive. But if you weave that into, ring meaning or imagination, like these things, and you tell them about themselves, they will be interested. Okay? So, this is not all, but you have to remember these, because there comes a time when you introduce yourself, you do some negs, you do some witty retorts, now what? This is before DHV, by the way. You can, of course, no, they intersect. You can, of course, do some DHVs in the beginning. You can qualify even, ask her some qualified questions. Do you do this? Like, things can interlap, but this is fun. I remember when I was having an interview with a spiritual coach, she was wearing a ring, and I was like, just part of the routine. And as I talked about the ring, she was so impressed. She was so enthusiastic. She loved talking about herself. And she was like, oh yeah, you're maybe right. And that was that was really nice. And so if I didn't know this routine, it would have been a little bit mundane. So guys, geek on this shit. Memorize it like your second name. We're not done yet. We have some more. Okay, the next thing you could do, guys, is you could ask 5 questions. This is the continuation of the routines, right? 5 questions. So for example, you could say, okay, I will ask you 5 questions, and I promise you, it's simple questions and you will get one of them wrong. You'll say no. Say, okay, number 1, what's the color of the sky? Blue. What's the capital of Toronto? Or what's the capital of Canada? Toronto. What's a city in Canada that starts with T? Toronto? Yes. What's the color of my t-shirt? Okay. What material is this board made of, or this table made of? And the 5th question, you could say, what do cows drink? She will say milk. And then you'll be like, gotcha. 5 questions. Now you tell her to lie, and if she tells you the truth, she fails. You ask her any question, she lies. And then the 5th question is going to be, how many questions did I ask? She would say 4. Then you get it, and then you say, gotcha. So this is that. This shows you that you are willing to emote, you are fun. The next thing is basically 3 and 7. You basically ask them to guess a number. You say, okay, I want to test my abilities to read minds. Guess number from 1 to 4. The first question you ask, from 1 to 4. Then you say, okay, let's now guess from 1 to 10. So the first one, mostly what people say is 3, and the second one, 7. If it works, say, well, I guess I can read minds. And if she tells you to do more than that, you could say, let's not put the cart before the horse, or that's not available in your subscription tier. You remember? I told you about the Witty Retorts? Can you do more? Well, let's come back to it later. Or that's not available in your subscription tier. But if you get it wrong, you can say, I guess reading mind is complete bullshit at the end. That's it. And then you guys can add any personality revealing trait. You see a lot of people talk that if you have wrinkles over here, it means you are always happy. If you smile, Mystery says there's the C-shaped smile and U-shaped smile. C-shaped smile is basically means people are fake. U-shaped smile means people are on it, like genuine and really living from the heart. Or you can basically say, when people have the like wrinkles here, it means that they are very bald-headed, like petulant or angry people all the time. You know, any psychological information that you have, you could say, you know, people with big noses have big self-esteem, or have or get upset easily, for example. People with you know, guys, I mean, I guess you know a thing or two. When people look right, they're telling you the truth. If they look left, they're or maybe the opposite. So, you know, like reveal some of that. You know, be fun. Those are the basic routines that you can memorize. I'm an English teacher, and because of that, I have a lot of material from the books that I taught. Right, a lot of different games, guess the word, whatever. So I can incorporate it because I taught it for years and years and years. But you could also use it, guys, and incorporate that. It will be fun. Just if you just memorize all that I gave you here, you will be far ahead, way more ahead than any wannabe or anyone who doesn't memorize. If you memorize, you have a structure in your head. A, B, C. Do this, this, this. Of course, steps could interlap, but you will get it eventually. You understand where you're going, you understand what's next, you have materials. You are not boring, you are fun. And girls don't chase money, they chase fun. If they can have fun with you, that's all that matters. You can tell them you have a Lamborghini, you can try and buy them, but you are but those who do that set themselves up for failure. Because once people just flash some money, they're saying, I'm a wallet, use me. But you have to be able to genuinely build rapport, build connection, you know, understand it. And so, that's why it's a noble profession, guys. That's why, because it's life. It's helping you succeed in one of the important areas of your life. Reproduce, leave a legacy, right? Not to mention, you must enjoy being wrong. So you can also have it in your arsenal whenever people make fallacious assumptions about you, guess something wrong. So you can say, you must enjoy being wrong, or I would agree with you, but then we would both be wrong, right? Number 2, so when people ask you a question that you don't want to answer, you don't feel comfortable answering, you don't want to go there, you just say, it's such a beautiful question, let's not unravel its mystery. Let's not unravel its mystery. Or you say, let's not disturb its majesty. And so when people ask you questions that you don't want to answer, you don't feel comfortable answering, you don't want to go there, you just say, it's such a beautiful question, let's not unravel its mystery. Let's not disturb its majesty, right? You choose either of both, or you can create both of your own. But it's very funny, people laugh, and they just, you know, and they go on. Instead of saying no, or whatever, just being boring or negative, beautiful way. You know, how many, let's say, for example, how many girls have you been with? It's such a beautiful question. Let's not unravel its mystery, right? How many cakes have you eaten? It's such a beautiful question. Let's not disturb its majesty, or let's leave it on its pedestal. right? You can play with this answer, but it's very powerful. I used it, and I always have fun with it. People will ask you questions you don't want to answer, so just use it, guys.